Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at the student ledger, navigating academic income and expenses. We've all been there, right? That familiar, kind of dreadful feeling of opening your banking app after a really busy weekend. Well, whether you're saving up for a few nights out or you're managing a super strict university budget, mastering your cash flow is literally the difference between thriving and, well, eating instant noodles for a month straight. So we're going to break down exactly how these financial currents flow through a student's life and how you can navigate them like a pro.
So what exactly is an academic ledger? Now, you might be thinking of some dusty old accounting books sitting on a shelf, but don't worry, it's definitely not that. And it's not just for math majors either. It's actually a living, breathing record of your daily choices. We're talking about tracking everything, from grabbing that desperately needed coffee before an 8 a.m. lecture, right down to receiving a hard-earned scholarship deposit. It is essentially the financial story of your entire school year.
To define it simply, the student ledger is the central framework for tracking and navigating a school student's academic income and expenses. The absolutely crucial word here is navigating. We're not talking about some daunting financial burden or a rigid set of rules designed to ruin your fun. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It's an empowering compass. It helps you steer your academic journey with absolute confidence, making sure you actually reach the end of the semester safely.
Which brings us to the balance scale, inflows versus outflows. At its core, the ledger operates on this incredibly delicate balance. I mean, it sounds super simple, right? Money comes in, money goes out. But maintaining this equilibrium is what completely dictates your financial stability and, honestly, your peace of mind during the entire school year. If the tension between these two forces snaps, well, that's when academic stress really starts to compound. Let's compare the two for a second. Academic income, representing your financial inflows, versus academic expenses, representing your financial outflows. Generating that income usually feels fantastic. It gives you this genuine sense of achievement, progress, and security. But confronting those expenses, bam, that brings a sharp, sudden dose of reality. You have to intimately understand both the thrill of those inflows and the harsh reality of those outflows to get the complete picture of your financial health.
So, let's start with the fun part, understanding academic income. This is where your financial journey really begins. This first half of the ledger represents every single dollar flowing into your pocket or your bank account to support your education and your life as a student. It's absolutely vital to identify exactly where this money originates so you can confidently predict it and, more importantly, rely on it.
Generally, this income trickles in from three main conceptual categories. You've got your earnings, maybe from that part-time campus job. Then there are allowances, aka the bank of mom and dad providing that regular support. And finally, financial awards, like those hard-earned scholarships, bursaries, and grants. These inflows represent the positive momentum in your budget. Think of it as the fuel that's powering your entire academic engine.
As our source material puts it, it really boils down to this simple idea: income and expenses for school students. It's a straightforward quote, but understanding this dynamic isn't just some elective course. It is a mandatory prerequisite for survival and success. No matter what subject you're actually studying, if you're a student, navigating this tension dictates your daily life and takes up a huge chunk of your mental bandwidth.
But of course, income is only half the story. Now we have to look at confronting academic expenses. These are the inevitable outflows that relentlessly chip away at those hard-earned dollars. Recognizing them isn't always fun, I know, but it is the necessary, kind of sobering reality of the whole academic experience.
Let's break down those outflow categories. Now, everybody expects the massive tuition bills and those towering stacks of overpriced educational materials and textbooks. But honestly, it's the daily school living costs that really get you. The stealthy stuff, the late-night study snacks, the bus fares, the ride shares, those monthly app subscriptions, they quietly drain your balance so much faster than you realize. They add up with surprising speed and subtlety.
So, how do we handle this? By navigating the balance. Managing the tension between your inflows and your outflows is the ultimate goal here. And I really want you to remember that doing this isn't about restricting your freedom. It's not about locking yourself in the library 24/7 just to save cash. It's actually about empowering your choices. When you truly understand your ledger, you aren't trapped by your expenses. You are empowered to make strategic choices that actually serve your long-term goals.
Let's make this actionable with 3 simple steps. Step 1. Identify academic income. You need to know your exact financial baseline. Step 2. Track academic expenses. And yes, that means tracking every single expense without exception, even that $2 vending machine purchase. Step 3. Navigate the ledger balance. You use that data to adjust your habits and keep yourself safely out of the red.
It's a simple, continuous loop. And mapping this out brilliantly illustrates exactly what we mean. Imagine setting up a simple table with columns for category, classification as an income or expense, and its impact on your balance. By plotting out your own life this way, categorizing every single item and seeing its real mathematical impact, you completely demystify your finances. It literally takes all the emotion and the guesswork right out of the equation. It gives you total, unarguable transparency.
Ultimately, this whole process is about mastering your financial map. By actively engaging with these numbers, your ledger transforms. It goes from being this stressful, dreaded list into a literal roadmap for true independence. When you master this map, you dramatically alleviate your anxiety. You free up all that mental energy so you can focus on what actually matters: your education, your personal growth, and ultimately, your future.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Who is really in control of your student ledger? Think about it. Are your subtle, stealthy daily expenses dictating your life, or are you actively steering your income to support your goals? It's time to take charge of that balance. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep mastering your map.